humbly. I know you have a lot of tight schedules. You left your own timetable and other business appointment. You decided to come and join us. You are warmly invited. This is University of Dar es Salaam. University of Dar es Salaam Computing Center under this event called AI or Die. AI or die. So we have AI means artificial intelligence or die. So we have a word or which joins the two, gives you options. You either opt AI or you opt death. But I don't think if we mean the exactly death that we probably understand, the physical death. So feel comfortable. Whenever you need assistance, we have people will be assisting you. Can you please wave up the student leadership? Can we raise your hand? So if you need assistance, you may simply raise your hand. These humble individuals will be ready to assist you at any time you need assistance. Yes, so thank you so much. We are waiting for the other guests. High table, can you please be patient? I hope we'll run with the timetable. I know we are very behind, but we'll try our best to make sure that we go quickly. We don't want to waste much of your time. You are warmly invited.
DJ 38K.
Pretty check on I wanna be your soldier, anything I'll do for you. So let me give my number, Can you be my commando? Can you give me your time? When's I gonna fall in love? Me fall in love. Halafu sitokocha uteseke. Pressure za nini? You are my desire. My mbona umeshalala? Unaona haya. Nafsi yangu shapagawa. Naitaki dawa. I wanna be your soldier, anything I'll do for you. So let me give my number, Can you? sitojifanya maproso kaja kukudanganya kakumbuka before takupenda paka useme po kwako nitang'ang'ana I will never let you go yeah mtegoni nimenasaka ndabui kwa ukuta believe me I don't lie nishachana sana nimeweka nukta I'm ready to fly with you baby yeah mengi yashasemwa kwamba mimi replaya wanapenda tukigombana eti na kuchezea rosa wa umma tumebaki kidedea twende tukiongozana wawili kama pea vunja kabati vapendeza nogeta tutoke baby vunja kabati komesha Aristote fanya unajipinda pinda kata mugongo pinda kata fanya unajipinda pinda kata mugongo pinda kata yeah Shatafuta location twende vacation tujichimbie kiaina tuposti makopa caption peace mango passion tukomeshe kina daina you give me temptation mwendo wa combustion kijungu kabla China unapendeza bila fashion you're my perfection wala uhitaji design
no. Yeah, we are about to start. The guests have arrived. I would like to request those people who are seated at the back, please, may we fill these seats, the middle seats, and while waiting, those people who will be coming late, maybe they may fill the back seats, but can we please fill the middle seats so that we may get a clear picture? We have the media who will be taking pictures, so may you please fill these gaps in between. The guests have arrived. They will be here soon. When they come, I will be excited if we please give applause when they enter into this auditorium as a sign of honor and respect. Thank you. Here they come. Can we please give them applause as they enter into this platform? You're welcome. Well, the media, we have TBC, we also have ITV, and yeah, TBC and ITV, they are live. They'll be taking pictures and video. Since we are very behind schedule and the guests have arrived, I would like to take this opportunity to invite the Managing Director of the University of Dar es Salaam Computing Center to speak a few words and give an opening remarks. Can I kindly invite Managing Director of the University of Dar es Salaam Computing Center? Here she comes.
Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, students, professionals, partners, and our valued participants joining us across Tanzania, Africa, and the world. It is both a great honor and a profound privilege to welcome you to this landmark artificial intelligence talk, hosted at the prestigious University of Dar es Salaam, an institution that stands as a beacon of excellence in education, research, consultants, and innovation across the continent. Today marks a pivotal moment. We are not merely attending another tech event, we are part of a movement that is reshaping the fabric of our societies. Artificial intelligence is not just the next wave of technology, it is the engine of the fourth industrial revolution, revolutionizing the way we live, work, learn, and lead. This gathering brings together an extraordinary blend of minds, students, academics, tech innovators, business leaders, policymakers, and visionaries. Whether you are in person or connected online, you are part of a critical dialogue about the future of education, employment, entrepreneurship, and digital transformation across Africa. We take immense pride in the role of the University of Dar es Salaam Computing Center as a key organizer of this event. UCC, being a pioneer in transforming technology in Tanzania, remains deeply committed to impacting not only our nation, but the broader African region and the world. As a trusted provider of artificial intelligence and cybersecurity training, UCC continues to empower individuals and organizations with the skills, tools, and strategic insight needed to thrive in a fast-evolving digital world. In this age of rapid technology change, we are called to move beyond comfort zones, embrace bold innovation, and act with urgency. It is in that spirit that we are honored to partner with Mr. Alexander Morad, a global artificial intelligence expert, a dynamic entrepreneur, and a founder of the groundbreaking movement AI or Die. From founding one of Europe's leading creative agencies to launching a global platform that inspires millions, Alexander's mission is clear, with urgency, to demystify artificial intelligence and to turn fear into action. His message is simple but powerful. Embrace AI or risk being behind. On his current AI or Die Africa tour, Alexander is engaging professionals, students, and entrepreneurs across the continent, equipping them to use artificial intelligence as a force for inclusive growth and competitive advantage. Today, we are privileged to have him here with us in Dar es Salaam, specifically at the University of Dar es Salaam. His presence is not only an honor, it is a powerful call of action. Whether you are a student shaping your future, a business leader striving to remain relevant, or policymaker steering national innovation, this conversation is for you. Let us approach this conference with minds, bold curiosity, and readiness to lead. Thank you to our partners and main sponsor, the University of Dar es Salaam, for the support, and to the dedicated team behind these scenes for making this possible. With that, I now officially declare that this talk or dialogue is open, and I warmly welcome Mr. Alexander Morad to the University of Dar es Salaam. Thank you.
That's very powerful. Thank you so much, Managing Director of the University of Dar es Salaam. Actually, we are in the world of AI. AI cannot be avoided. We are in the world of AI. We live with AI, so we cannot. Personally, I'm not ready to die. I'm ready to embrace the AI as an instructor, but also as an individual. So, Mr. Alexander is one of the most highly prominent figure in the area of AI. He is one of the best, actually, public speaker, and according to the profile, he's ranked one of the top 100, within 100 top best public speaker in Sweden. So you can see how privileged we are to have Mr. Alexander in this wonderful event. So without wasting much of your time, I would like to invite Alexander on the stage to share with us what he has.
Do I need a microphone? Maybe. Guys in the back, can you hear me? Should I skip it? Use it? Okay. How do I... just like this? Yes? Does it look good though? Let me just see it real quick. Looks good. All right. Asante, so good to be here. I'm very, very excited for this. My name is Alexander Murad, and I know I've been traveling a lot to a lot of countries here on this side of the world. So I think I know what a few of you might be thinking and wondering, like, okay, what does this guy know about how to do it here in Tanzania? I mean, maybe he knows how it works in like Europe or in Sweden, or maybe there everything is super easy and he can just say he want to do something and it works or something like that. But I don't really come from, because I know there's like a prejudice of how it is in Europe and how it is in Sweden, and I don't really come from like easy upbringings. My father and my mother were refugees from Syria and Lebanon. They came to Sweden. I was lucky enough to be born there, but we didn't really have much growing up. And I studied psychology a couple of years, and when I started my agency, I had zero knowledge about marketing. I didn't even know what an agency was. I still don't know, to be honest, what they do. I had zero resources. I had no connections. I didn't even live in the capital city of Sweden. I lived in a small city outside, like 3-4 hours away from it. And didn't, there was no, like, I had the perfect setup. If any investors would have come to me, they would be like, okay, this is the perfect setup for a failure, right? But the thing I had, it was actually 3 things. It was, I think I had the right mindset. I had the power of being consistent and working really, really, really hard. But those 2 alone doesn't do much. Then I also had timing. When I started my social media agency, it was in the perfect time to do that. A lot of companies didn't know how it worked. A lot of people didn't know how to actually improve on it, how to utilize it and leverage it. It was very new, very fresh. And I just, you know, struck hard when I realized that. Here with zero resources, zero knowledge about AI, doesn't know anything about tech, doesn't know anything. Because right now is the timing for AI. This is the moment that will start making future millionaires and billionaires through AI. And some, as soon as it said that, some were like, yeah, but that's not me. And that's the problem with the mindset, I guess, right? Because anyone, literally anyone in this room, that's like a promise, could be like the next big thing when it comes to this. Could be the one that develops a product that just changes everything forever, for yourself, but also for the people around you, right? If someone would have told me when I started that if I was sitting in the audience and someone said, like, any one of you could, at the time I was back then, I would have been like, yeah, no way that would ever be me. Actually, that actually happened. I remember my first public speak I was listening to, and someone was talking about starting your own company and doing those things and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that would never happen to me, but I'll try, right? And it turned out quite okay. So, yeah, that's. I just wanted to say that just to catch that moment, so you know like, a little bit about why I'm doing this. But I will dig deeper into that later as well. In order to, I said I studied psychology, right? I don't know, by the way, if it's possible to like turn off some of the lights here, just to make the screen clearer, because there will be a lot of like pictures and videos and stuff like that that I'll be showing. So the clearer you can make that would be better if someone from tech is listening. So in order to understand, I studied a lot of psychology, and I know that in order to understand like a human and how they are thinking and what they will do, we need to know about their history, right? What they've been through, how they reacted previously. The same is when it comes to technology. For us to truly know how AI will form our society, will form us, how we will adapt, how we will react, we need to understand the history of it. Like how was it previously in previous technological situations? How did that work? So I thought I'm going to go through the evolution of streaming, as I call it, because I feel like since internet came, it's all about what you can stream. And in the beginning, we had the opportunity to stream information. You know, with like Google, Alta Vista, Yahoo, depending on how old you are. But there was different search engines, and you can at any time you could suddenly stream information and be like, what is this? When did that happen? And stuff like that. And with any new technology, the first instinct were like, oh, it's not really good enough. I tried Googling my name, it didn't know me, and stuff like that, right? I remember my teacher saying, yeah, but it won't beat the experience. You have to still go to a library to learn a new language and get a dictionary and stuff like that, right? Because Google didn't have all those features when it was new. And then we moved on, and we had the opportunity to stream inspiration, which I think is one of the most pivotal moments in human history that we don't really talk about that much. But at any point of time, you could stream inspiration in real time. You can see any conflicts that's happening. You can see both sides. Anything you need. I come to Salaam, I can immediately go to TikTok. I'm like, best restaurant in Salaam, and I can immediately get a lot of different inspirations from that. I get inspiration in how to exercise, eat, vacations, opinions. But still, one of the biggest concerns with social media was that it creates filter bubbles, right? You only see what if you react to something, you get a lot of that, you only see one side of it. I don't know, I think it's a funny critique, because didn't we have filter bubbles before? Wasn't it worse before social media? Like I grew up, whatever my parents listened to, I listened to. I don't like Celine Dion, but my mother did, so I was like, all right, I'm listening to that. Whatever they believed in, I believed in. Whatever they thought, I kind of thought, because that's the only input I had. It was my parents, neighbors, and school. And then traditional media, what the TV told us, or what the radio told us. And that's another thing social media did. It democratized attention. Now, anyone with a voice could be heard. Anyone with a voice could be seen. Someone like me in Sweden would not get the opportunity to be on TV if I didn't make it on social media first. So it democratized attention. And then we had an opportunity to stream content. You know, Netflix, Spotify, audiobooks, any kind of things in real time. Boom, immediately. I can take up my phone right now and watch a movie, which is wild. Life wasn't always like that. Now it seems so easy. Now it seems like, if I would have asked anyone here, would you invest in Netflix 10 years ago? You'd be like, yeah, of course. That's so easy when you know the outcome. But when it was new, it was still the problems with like the copyright, the integrity, who owns the right, is it ethical, the quality, it was buffering, you have to download movies, it takes a lot of time, and it's low quality, it's not good enough. And you know, Blockbuster was one of the biggest companies in the world when it comes to renting out movies. They said that nothing will ever beat the experience of reading the backside of a DVD. I think a YouTube trailer beats that experience. I don't know. But they couldn't even envision a future where you can go to a website and watch a whole trailer of a movie. They couldn't even see that. So there was like nothing beats the experience of reading the backside. Netflix, however, was kind of the same company. It was like a postal DVD thing. You can order a DVD and they send it home to you, and then you watch it and you send it back, right? They believed in it. So they were focusing a lot on streaming, and it worked. And then they went to Blockbuster and they were like, hey guys, why don't we merge? You can acquire us and we build this together. All we want is this amount of money. And Blockbuster just laughed them out of the office. Now Blockbuster went bankrupt, and Netflix is doing a TV show about them. So I guess the winner writes the history, right? And this is why I say AI or die. If I was here 5 years ago, I'd probably say TikTok or die. If you ask whoever founded Netflix, he'd say streaming or die back in the days, right? Because what happened to Blockbuster? They kind of died. So that's one of the reasons we talk about adapting, because now with intelligence, it's just so rare, it's so new, it's going to be so impactful on every part of our society. But it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be like, but do we have the rights? And is it really, does this make us lazy? Or all the usual concerns that you might have, it's okay. You know why? Because that's how we humans as a species have survived for so long. I heard that like the first evidence of human is here in Tanzania. There's like a museum that displays, I don't remember the name of it now. You mentioned it, but yeah. But how have we survived for so many millions of years? It's because we're afraid of new things. That's how we survive. If someone sees a bush and there's berries, and they're like, oh, I shouldn't eat that because it might be poisonous. And they live another day. But we also need someone who's a visionary, who's like, I will try this. And they eat it and they die. And that's not really good, but it saves millions of lives. Because next time someone sees that bush and they're like, oh, berries, oh, a skeleton. I'm not eating that. And they learn that those berries are poisonous. So we are always, biologically in our DNA, we are afraid of new things. This is also still why racism is so big, and it doesn't really go away, because we are coded to be afraid of cultures, of people, or something that doesn't look like us, or doesn't act like us. Immediately we'll be like, oh, why is it like that? Until we get to know them. And we are here to change that, right? We should not be afraid of, we should be cautious, but not constantly afraid of new things. Because right now, we are in the verge of being able to stream intelligence. How many here has ChatGPT on their phone? Raise your hand. How many uses it daily? How many has a paid version? Okay. It's not a laughable matter, though, I must have to say. But there was very few. And you see, I think in my questions, it was like maybe like 60% of the hands was up, and then like 40%, and then like maybe 5. And we can stream intelligence now. For me, I will not stop until I go to a room and every hand is in there. Because I don't understand. In my head, it doesn't make sense. If anyone is watching this, watching me right now, and anyone who's home live right now, I don't know which camera, watching this, and you don't have it on your phone, that will be your #1 task to do, is to get it on the phone. Because it's crazy to me. You can stream intelligence, and you don't choose not to. I can't understand anyone who has that a perfect of a life that don't need to, help like that. Like it's anything. You can be like, hey, I have this business. This is the income. This is my costs. How can I want you to act like a business developer and help me to make my organization more lean and make more money and scale it. You can say, like, here's a blueprint of a house or something I want to buy. Can you analyze it? Is it good? I want you to act like a therapist. And this and this and this happened. Were I overreacting? Is this good? Like how? Anything, any kind of intelligence. I want you to act like a marketing manager and just help me come up with an idea to do this. You know what? You guys are students here as well, right? I want you to act as a teacher and quiz me on this subject. You don't have to use it to cheat, or we don't use it like that, but you can use it to actually learn with it. Suddenly you have a personal teacher in your pocket. You're like, I'm studying this is the curriculum, this is the test, this is the whatever we're gonna learn. Can you quiz me on this? Start with the beginner level and make it harder, and see how many answers I can get. Suddenly you have a personal teacher in your pocket 24/7. Is that not good? That's great. Everyone should have it. So we are in this era right now where we can stream intelligence, which is for me mind-blowing, and this will democratize knowledge. This will make knowledge accessible for anyone. This will make anyone be able to compete on the same levels as those who've done this or that or that, or those who have unlimited resources and all those things. This is where we are right now. It's happening. It's not the future. It's happening right now. People are making so much money with this already. Because the way you usually pay people to do a lot of those things, I just said that you can use it for, you can use it and get paid for it. I believe the future, if we're just gonna look forward a little bit, I believe we're very soon gonna be able to stream Initiative. Initiative is basically an AI telling you without you prompting it, like prompt-free AI. So it tells you like, hey, you haven't been to your barber for 2 months, and I see on Friday, 2 p.m., there's an available slot on your calendar, and your barber also has it. Do you want me to book that for you? Yes. Cool. Also, you haven't called your mother in 2 weeks, so maybe it's time. Cool. Thank you. Call her. I'll do the talking. You don't have to talk for me, right? But that's how future will be. It will help us a lot. And I see a lot of faces are like, ooh, that's a bit intrusive, right? Like, should it know everything about me like that? And that's good. That means that your DNA is working. You should be afraid of new things. We just spoke about it. So that's a very natural reaction. Some of you might feel like, oh, that was exciting. That's really good. Maybe you're the person who's going to try the berry, right? And maybe create that software, create something, and see how that can be developed even further. But that's the future, whether we like it or not. So AI will not solve everything, but it will evolve everything. I can't imagine a single business, organization, political party, university, school, human that would not be evolved by AI. And please challenge me on that. You tell me the single thing that you believe that, oh, there's no way this will evolve by AI, and I will tell you exactly how it will be evolved by AI. Google just released, they released a prototype of new glasses where, you know, it was actually insane. They were in a library and they just looked at the room and then they just turned their head and then they asked the glasses, they're like, oh, there was a white book on the second shelf on the left side. Which book was that? And it tells you, oh, that was the blah, 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 because it remembers what it saw. Where did I leave my keys? I forgot them. Oh, you left them next to blah, 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 blah. Because it remembers what it saw. And you're telling me that not everything will be evolved by like something like that AI? Someone told me that, oh, but a plumber, you know, you still need the skills and someone to, yeah, but what about if you have those glasses? If you have AR augmented glasses and you can just you don't even need to know anything about plumbing. You just need to have 2 hands and a skill, and not skill, just being able to do hard work, because then you have those, and it tells you, okay, turn this one to that side, and then open that, and it just shows you exactly how to do it yourself, right? So everything will be evolved by AI. And we're going to go into that as well, and how we can protect ourselves, because I know, of course, there are some concerns on what will happen then, right? But first, I want to address my why, because that's the second question I get a lot. Because I've been touring, you know, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, Ethiopia, Kenya. I did a quick stop in Zanzibar the other day just to enjoy a little bit, and now I'm here, and I'm going to Rwanda after this, and Nigeria. And people are asking me why. Why are you doing this? And people see my socials, there's always comments be like, oh, he's gonna scam you guys, or this is not real, but it's real. I'm here. There's no scam. But that's the people looking for my motive. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? And I think for you to truly understand that, and before we touch deeply in AI and how to make money with it, I think you need to also understand me. That's what we said with psychology, right? So I just want to share a little bit on my purpose and why I am here. And life has not always been crystal clear and great. You know, I remember I told you that I started my agency. I knew nothing about marketing, but I knew that there was a gap on social media. So I decided that I have to learn every social media. And I was learning it, and I was spending so much time in it. And at the same time, the business wasn't going too good in the beginning. And I had an investor who was very much breathing down my neck. They were like, we need a business plan for upcoming 5 years, and we need this, and we need that, and we need. There was like a lot of admin, and I'm a creative soul. So every admin things that I had to write and create, it was just draining my energy. And at the same time, I'm over-consuming Facebook, Instagram, every social media platform that you haven't heard about. And social media, as you know, it gives you a thing called dopamine. And dopamine is like a drug. Dopamine is the same thing you get from alcohol, from tobacco, from sex, from gambling, from all those things that can get you addictive. And doing too much gives you anxiety, and getting too much anxiety gives you a depression. It's just, you know, you hear it. It's just a bad circle of things keep circling down. And so I was in that moment where I was like, oh, damn, I'm about to like hit the wall. The famous wall, not the one Trump is trying to build. Not the wall, the greatest wall you've ever seen. Not that wall. Actually, my mental wall. And I was like, damn, I have to save myself, because I was literally hating so much on myself. Like everything, I was so pissed off at myself, which is such a crazy thing to do. Like, society is already putting so much limitations on us, telling us what we can't do. You know how many people told me I can't do this tour in Africa? That it doesn't work, that nobody would show up, nobody would care. They're trying to get sponsors, and they tell me that, I feel ashamed just saying this, but the thing I hear from people in Sweden and in Europe and companies, big companies, they're like, isn't it better to just send over food? I'm like, I don't think it's like that. I haven't been there, but I don't think it's like that. I think there's very different levels, and we need to help all levels. And I believe that giving the tools for someone to catch their own fish is better long term. And that's what I can help with, right? So society is already pushing so much limits on us, telling us what not to do, what we can't do, how we do it. So we don't need ourselves, because I'm spending 24 hours a day with my own self, right? I don't need myself talking trash about myself. I don't need to hate on myself, but I was doing that. I was hating on myself. I was my biggest hater. I was the Kendrick Lamar to myself. and I was like, you're not like yourself. You're not like yourself. So I decided that, you know, I had a meeting with Facebook in Dublin, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take that meeting. Oh, you don't see the whole screen. How do I go back? Okay, whatever. So I had a meeting in Dublin And I decided that I'm going there, I'm not bringing a phone. I had this bottom phone, no internet, nothing. I'm not going to spend a single minute listening to any song, anything. I'm just going to be with my own thoughts. And I was hitchhiking through Europe. I was like, I'm just going to let God show me the way. I went to Wales. I went to, why is it not working? The clicker is giving up. Oh, there, England. I went to France, Belgium, Germany, Switzerland, all the way down to Italy. And when I came to Italy, I was at my highest. I've never been this happy in my whole life. I started loving myself truly. Something happens when you spend so much time with yourself, you start learning that, hey, I'm actually a funny guy. I'm a good person. It's not me specifically. I think anyone here is. Like anyone here is a really great person, but we are so much listening to others that we forget our own opinions. We forget what makes us excited because we heard someone else said that, oh, that's so, why do you like that? That's so boring. Like, no, I don't like that anymore. We forget our identity because we so much want to be like everyone else and fit in, right? But at that point, I was so happy. I was loving myself. Everything was peace and like peaches and rainbows and everything. And it was 17th of March, my birthday, which is St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. So I was like, let's go to an Irish pub, since I'm in Italy, right? I went there and I met this guy named Klaus, and I told him my whole story and how happy I was and everything. And he was like, yeah, you know, I'm going to Frankfurt, so you should come with. I can't do German accents. I just sound like Arnold. But he was like, I'm going to Frankfurt, which is half the way back to Sweden. I was like, yeah, no brainer, let's do that. And sitting in his car, it's like 1:30, 1:40 a.m. I'm in the middle of the night, and I'm looking out the window trying to fall asleep. I don't know how you guys, when you fall asleep in a car, you know, you look out and you see those road signs, and it's like trying to jump over them with your head just to get a bit tired, right? And suddenly I see that those signs are just getting further and further away from me. And this happens way faster than I can explain it, but I move my head and I see that, oh, we're on the opposite side of the road. and there's like a truck, for like not immediately, but like by the wall over there. So it's still close enough, right? So I panic and I grab the wheel and I swing it. And in highways, you know, sometimes the mid section, the rails or what you call it, they come back, and we just hit it in full speed. And the car flips 1 time, 2 times, it lands upside down. When I regain my focus, I'm just covered in blood. I can barely breathe. I'm like hyperventilating. And I try to like reach Klaus, but he's just hanging there, also covered in blood, and I can't open the door, and I can't crack the window, and I feel like, oh, this is it. I'm not gonna make it, and I start feeling how I'm out of breath, and everything is like crystallizing and becomes darker and darker, and I remember thinking, hanging upside down there, that my last thought was like, this would never happen in Tanzania because you drive on the other side of the road, right? No. I didn't think that, but everyone was so serious. Everyone was like, what happened? I made it. Spoiler, I'm here. No, I woke up in a hospital. I can't explain it to any one of you. Like, I had not a single scratch, not a single wound. It was a miracle. I was just completely, I didn't believe it myself. And in Italy, they barely speak English. And the doctors, they were like, like, and I'm like, you know, and I was like, check, my beard is intact, everything is good, and my legs is working, and it was like my head, and I was like, head, and they were like, yeah, head empty. I was like, I know, but is it damaged in any way? I just went to Sweden immediately, and everything was chill. I had nothing, some neck pains, you know, but which I still get sometimes, but otherwise it was nothing. 1 month later, I get a call, and it turns out that Klaus, he was in a coma and he didn't make it. And that changed my whole life. Because then I went from just being in an accident to literally being 20 centimeters away from dying for nothing. And I decided 2 things that day. I decided that I will never take a day for granted. I will always show up to life, every day, show up to life and do the most of each day that I can. Because if he's watching me, I don't want him to think like I'm wasting my time, right? And the second thing, I want to do positive impact. My focus would be positive impact. And I kid you not, I don't know what happened, but ever since, like my business was going down, and when I came back, it was just, I won every award I could imagine. The only agency in the world who's won TikTok awards twice. We've been working with some of the biggest brands like KFC, Truecaller. We've been working with DJ Khaled. We've been working with like some of the biggest artists and been on some of the biggest stages of the world, like in Cannes and Brilliant Mind, like stages which is impossible for someone like me to be on. But for some reason, I was there, invited to talk about marketing and stuff like that. Everything just worked out. I think the only difference was that I showed up to life, right? And I had a good timing. But still, I didn't really quite feel fulfilled because I didn't feel like I was doing that positive impact that I was thinking that I wanted to do, right? I helped a lot of people, business-wise, but not personally. Until that day when ChatGPT was launched. I remember using it, writing to it, and I just did like this. And I came to a realization. You know what the first thing I asked it was? I asked it, can you make a 5-year business plan for my company? Like the one thing that struck me out. And it did that, and it looked so good. And I could just tweak a little bit. And I was like, this was the first day. Imagine now it's just 10 times better. And I was like, damn, if I had this, I would never have been in that car accident. I could have let it do all the things that drains me, and I could have focused on the things that empowers me. That's when I decided to, like, I'm going to go and talk about this and teach people. I don't work at ChatGPT. I have no commission if you guys get ChatGPT or DeepSeek or whatever. Do whatever you want. The only thing I was hoping for when I was talking about it was that someone do not end up in the same situation I did. But the more places I went to, the more of this big stage I went to, I also realized that we have this kind of artificial privilege in Europe. People listen, and they're like, oh, that's cool, that's good and all, and then they write on LinkedIn, I was so inspired, and then they don't do anything about it. And I visited a European country with more restricted resources and a whole different financial situation than in like England and Sweden. And they were mesmerized. I got so many DMs saying like, I tried this, it worked. And so I came to another realization. I was like, hey, I'm at the wrong places. The people that need to hear this the most are not being invited to the conversations. The people that, and I did my research, like look at the top 500 speakers in the world, not a single one been to Africa. The only place they've been to in Africa is where? South Africa. You see, everyone even knows that. They go to South Africa and they'll be like, oh, I was in Africa. I've been to South Africa. That's not Africa. I mean, it's Africa, I'm sorry, it's Africa, but it's very different from being in Zimbabwe or Namibia or Ethiopia or Tanzania. Like, it's very different. So no one is coming to these places and talking about it. And that's why I started this AI or die thing, thinking that, okay, no, you know what, I'm gonna quit my job, and I'm just going to focus on doing this. This is completely non-profit. I'm funding everything from my own pocket. I have a couple of sponsors. Everything, if you calculate every sponsor that I get in, every income I get from this tour, the first leg of the tour, still I lost $30,000. On this leg of the tour, I'm going to lose around 40,000. So that's like 70,000 so far, right? So I'm not making any money, but I'm making a lot of positive impact. A lot of positive impact. Yeah. This is literally not why I'm saying this, by the way, to get a buzz, but yeah, I appreciate it. But I get so many people that are writing to me daily. I have almost like over 100 since I started my first show. Over 100 people have written to me, told me that, hey, I use these tools that you said, and I made money. I used to have $100 a month as a salary. Now I work 8 hours, and I'm making $400. I'm making $800. I'm making $700 because, I say this, the financial disadvantages there is here, which we all are aware of, becomes your strongest asset when it comes to AI. Because now you can compete globally in a way you could never do before. I'm going to show you the tools how to do that, but now you can compete globally. And getting a client in another country that pays $100 for like 2 hours of work is not hard when you're using AI. And that can be life-changing for a lot of people. Especially when you get 10 of those clients and you're making 1K a month, right? So, are we ready to, oh, I forgot to jump the slides. So are we ready to dive deep into AI and learn how to make money with it? Cool. Someone has to advise me where I should, oh, maybe against my computer. Yeah, that's true. I'm not very tech savvy. I think, and people get scared when I say that because we're like, oh, aren't you supposed to talk about AI? And it's because AI is not about tech anymore. Creating AI, like the things that you guys are doing when you study here, that's very much tech, and that's very much outside of my comfort zone. I'm a creative soul, right? But what generative AI does, it just opens the door for everyone. Now it's not only for those, because before you had to know how to code, and because you wrote code, and you spoke to it with code, and it responded in code, and you have to, like, it's, I don't know, but I guess there's like different languages, right? You speak to it in code, right? What generative AI does is basically you write the letters, and it translates it to code, sends it to the model, its response in code translates it to letters and sends it back to you, so everyone can understand it, right? So what is AI? I like to, especially generative AI specifically, I like to compare it to Lego. Imagine you have like billions of Lego pieces. That's all the data that AI has access to. Now for some people that's overwhelming. I don't know what to do with it. For some people they see a whole city when they see those Lego pieces. What search engines did, they organized it. They said, this is blue, this is red, this is yellow. Green was created in 1940. They have organized all the data for us to have access to it. What the generative AI does, however, is they build with it. So they take all these Lego pieces and they build with it. I think that's the easiest way to explain generative AI, is that you have all this data in the world, and you can build anything you want with it. And that is why generative AI is so bad. Yeah, everyone was like, what? But this is why it becomes so generic. So many people be like, oh, I tried it, but it was so very generic. It wasn't, yeah, it's because it has so much information. You know what it does? When you say, give me a picture of a house, you know what it does? It looks through all the pictures it has in all the data systems of all the houses that have ever existed, and it sees like, oh, this is how the generic house looks like, and it tries to find the most common house, and it gives you a version of that. So it becomes very generic if you talk to it so poorly and say, like, give me a picture of a house. So our job is to limit the data. And anyone who works with creativity knows this. The best ideas, they come in friction. It comes when we limit ourselves. If I would tell you here, everyone here, I would say to you that, okay, I want you to make an ad for KFC. You can only use things on this stage. Suddenly you will have to become very creative in order to make something. And you would create something that you would never have made if you had unlimited resources, right? Same is with AI, generative AI. Our job is to limit it, to break it down, tell it which Lego pieces to use. You tell it, give me a picture of a house that's built in Dar es Salaam in 1840, and you get a whole different picture, right? So that's our job, is to limit and break down what to use. Your job is also, since we have a lot of engineers here and people working with this, is to start creating and publishing data from Africa and in your different languages. You know, ChatGPT is trained on a lot of data. You know how much is from Africa? Anyone can guess how many percent? Just scream out the number. 5%? 2%? 1%? Yeah, 1%. It is. You guys are guessing low because you know I was aiming for that. But that's crazy, only 1%. So that's why we also need to start using it more and publishing more. So is it good enough? Is another question I get. The generative AI, is it good enough? Yes, it is. Because it's consistent. Like if you ask me, give me 10 ideas on how to market this university on TikTok, I will give you 10 ideas and 7 of them will be really, really good. Because I'm good, right? There's a danger of loving yourself too much, all right? You love yourself too much, you end up like Kanye. But you can also, you ask AI of 10 ideas, and it will give you 10 ideas, but only 1 will be good enough, maybe 2. And now someone's like, aha, I knew it, it's not good enough. It is. Because if you compare me with AI, then 1, I'm way more expensive. 2, I'm not available 24/7. And 3, I'm equally consistent. Because if you ask me again, oh, that was nice, give me 10 more. 10 more. 10 funnier. 10 with a better call to action. 10 with a better hook. Can you give me 10 based on pathos? Can you give me, I will block you. Immediately. They tell me that AI doesn't have empathy. I just told you, I will block you. AI has a lot of empathy. It just says, yes, please, okay, and it does it, right? And this is the difference. It's consistent because you ask for 10 more ideas, 10 more, 10 more, 10 more. You ask it 10 times. If only 1 idea is good each time, you got 10 good ideas. So all you need is time on your side. But a lot of people, they just ask it once, and they're like, oh, it wasn't that good. Like, that's crazy. You don't even ask a human once and expect it to be perfect at the first try, right? Like, you have to give it, ask more, ask more, ask more. Nothing is stopping you from asking it again, except that you get like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to, for some reason, I don't know. So it is good enough, but we need to be consistent with it for it to actually work. And we also need to know the art of talking to AI, because if it's not working for you, you're doing it wrong. AI doesn't suck, you do. But that's the god-awful truth, because like when I started with my social media agency, it was the same thing. I went to companies, I was like, hey, you guys should be on Facebook. And that's how old I am, right? You guys should be on Facebook and do stuff there and do ads. And they were like, oh, we tried Facebook, but it doesn't work. No, you didn't. No, you didn't try Facebook. You took a picture of your ad on the newspaper and you posted it on Facebook. That's not trying Facebook. That's just you doing it wrong. And the same thing is here. A lot of people are just doing it wrong. You need to know how to prompt, how to talk to it to get the best results. And this is nothing to be ashamed of. Like when I've been educating before this tour, I've been with some of the biggest agencies in the world and teaching them. And even they are doing it wrong, right? Which is for me crazy, because when I had my agency, my marketing, I used to educate other agencies, and I asked them, hey, what's your biggest concern and problem right now? And they tell me, oh, you know, it's so frustrating because our clients, they send so bad briefs to us. So we don't really know what to do, and it just takes so much time to get a good brief on what campaign they want to create. And we talk a lot about that, and I help them and stuff like that, right? And now when I go back and I talk about AI, and I'm like, okay, so what's your biggest concern? And they're like, oh, the results are bad. And I'm like, how is your brief to AI? and so they're doing the same thing their clients are doing to them. They're just giving a bad brief. So that's why I generated this thing I called the bright prompt. I need to stand closer to this. The bright prompt. And it's basically every letter stands for something. And as I said, the darker we can get the screen, the better. I can stand in darkness. It's no worries for me. But the B, this is what should be included in a prompt to get a good result. The B stands for the brand. Like, what is the name of the company you want the AI to represent, and what do they do? It could be, I want you work at KFC, or you work at McDonald's, or you work at this university, or you work at my personal brand. I don't know. The R is the role you want AI to have. I want you to act as a marketing manager. I want you to be an architect. I want you to be a therapist, whatever you want it to do. The I is the instructions. I need help writing blog posts. I need a content calendar. I need you to analyze this or that. I need you to figure out why I'm not popular. Like anything you're wondering, right? And then you say the goal. What is the objective? What you aim to achieve? We want to get more clients. We want to drive more traffic to our website. I want more people to ask me out on a date. Like you just tell it whatever your concerns are. And then the H is how. How do you want it, what do you need and how should it be presented? I want it to be in Swahili, I want it to be in English, I want it to be in a table with different columns, I want it to be, as a PDF or a story, like however you want it presented. And finally, the target audience. Who is supposed to benefit from this? Is it the Gen Zs? Is it the boomers? Is it women? Is it men? Is it people who like golfing? Is it students? Like anything you can tell us about it. And by the way, there's screens on my left and on my right, but it's a bit delayed. But sometimes they show the presentation there, and it just becomes clearer than it's here. So you can keep that in mind if you want to see something or take a picture. Like right now, right there, if you want to take a picture, that's a good quality picture of the prompt. So you use this to write a prompt, and this is just how you speak to humans. This is how you're supposed to talk to like an agency. Because if you ask me, create an ad for Nike, or they ask me, what should we do on TikTok? I would just say, okay, do a street interview, because that's the most generic answer I can tell them. But if they tell me, we work for Nike and we want to reach Gen Zs and make them fall in love with our brand in this and this and this and this way, I will give them something else. Same as with AI, we need to limit it. An example of a prompt can look like this. You work for a company named Truecaller, which is an app that helps people identify potential scam callers and ID unknown numbers. Your role at the company is a marketing manager. More specifically, you're an expert when it comes to SEO with 15 years of advanced experience. We need to create blog posts for website. The objective is to drive traffic that will build trust. I need a 7-day content calendar for copy, title, headings, and meta descriptions. The target audience is Gen Zs in Sweden that are uncomfortable with getting calls from unknown numbers. And you write this prompt, and within seconds of you writing it, I'm just gonna wait for some of the cameras to finish taking pictures. Yeah, and within seconds, you get these results. You don't see the whole screen here, but it says day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, whatever. Why Gen Z needs Truecaller, or guide for Gen Z, handle unknown calls, or fight phone scams with Truecaller. And you get the keywords and the meta tags and the headings and the meta descriptions. You get all of this right here to create. SEO is like search engine optimization. This is the reason why some companies or some links becomes top when you Google, right? And you just got the whole blog calendar for that. Saved you a lot of time. And then you say, like, okay, I like day 1. Can you write me the blog post? And it writes it. Now, I would never say to anyone to use AI to do everything, because that's not so, fulfilling. What I do say is, use it to do the things that you hate to do yourself. So, for instance, if your job is to write blog posts, break it down to subtasks, and be like, okay, what does it mean? Okay, writing a blog post, that means that I need to come up with ideas. I need to do some research. I need to write the actual blog post, I need to proofread it, and I need to publish it. That's what I do, right? If I write blog posts. And then you figure out what are the things on this list that you hate to do. For me, I would love to come up with ideas. I would love to write it. I would hate to do the research, because I don't like that. So I go to AI, and I'll be like, hey, can you come up with 5 studies that prove that AI makes you more efficient? And it shows me those. And I say, okay, I'm not going to read all that. Can you just bullet point, write down what the study are saying? And it gives you that. And then I write my blog post based on that. And I have the sources and I have everything. But we are not all the same. For some people, they hate writing, but they're so good at researching and analyzing. those should do the research and analyze. They should spend their time finding the perfect researchers and then saying their opinions. And then they go to AI, they're like, okay, I found these researchers, and this is my opinions and my stance on it. Can you help me write a blog post about that? And it helps you write it. Because not everyone are good writers, but everyone might have good opinions. So this is why I say it democratizes knowledge, and it enables anyone to be able to make blog posts now. Because if you were limited because you couldn't do research, you're not limited anymore. Make sense? Cool. Anyone works with data here? Like TikTok ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, any kind of like a lot of data? Raise your hands. No one? Okay, a few. Cool, then I'm just going to go through it quickly. But you can also upload data to it. So you can upload and you'll be like, okay, you upload any kind of data. So here I made like there was like a TikTok campaign where we had almost like 100 different videos in an ad campaign. And I said, can you analyze it and tell me which one will work best, et cetera, et cetera. And it tells you I'm just going to clean all the data and blah, blah, blah. It gives you the whole, and it asks me, shall we proceed? I say yes. Usually I say yes, please, in case they ever take over. I want them to be like, Alexander's a good guy, let's keep him. They're not going to take over, I'm just joking. And then immediately you get the results. So you see here, like it's hard to understand maybe if you don't work with this kind of data, but the longer these are, the more expensive the ad is. So I immediately get an overview and say like, okay, these ones are too expensive, I need to turn them off, and I need to focus more on these ones instead. So it just helps you a lot if you work with that. So anyone here can become a data analyst now when it comes to like ads and stuff like that. And you can just use, for instance, ChatGPT to help you become more efficient. Anyone generating images with AI? Get some more hands now. Still only like 10% though. Oh, you know what? When I see 10% of the hands in the air, I get so excited. Because it also tells me that I have so much impact to do here. But it also tells everyone in this room. Can you raise your hands who generates pictures, images? If everyone just look around, and this is your competition, right? Like, this is, and for me, when I get to see this all over Africa, and wherever I go, this is the same, honestly, when I'm in Europe. It's so fresh and new. This is why it's so important and powerful right now. If I was here telling you like, oh, you need to become the best at Photoshop, you can be the best in the world, you'd be like, yeah, but people done it for 20 years. But I'm telling you, you can perfect a skill that is so new that if you spend 8 months, 3 hours a day, trying out, testing it, learning it, watching YouTube tutorials, actually talking to it, within 8 months, you'll be one of the best in Tanzania. Within a year, you'll probably be one of the best in Africa. Within 1.5 years, you could be one of the best in the world if you specialize within. And it's not that crazy. That's actually how it is. Like, as I told you, I started the same day ChatGPT came, right? That was like, what is it, like 3 years ago. And now I'm doing, like, anyone could have done that. Anyone could have been like, oh, I see the power of this. I'm just going to learn everything, and I'm going to spend a lot of hours a day, because that's how you learn any skill. Any skill you want, you spend hours. You want to become a football player, spends hours every day. You're going to perfect that skill. So images. It's also interesting because AI also perfects itself. I have a funny example here. In the version 4 of Midjourney, is a platform to create pictures. I write salmon swimming down the river. Now, this is the picture it gave me. I don't know how much you know about the fish, salmon, but this is the cooked version. This is not how they swim. Yeah, I didn't know that either. It's crazy. I was equally surprised. Why did it give me this picture? Because it is trained to give you the most generic picture, right? And apparently there are more influencers taking pictures of their food than there are fishermen taking pictures of their fish, right? It's just so simple. But a few months later, we look at the same prompt in version 7, and it gives you this picture. So it's evolving. It's becoming better. It's becoming better at all time. You see the clear picture on the screens as well. It's much clearer there. So it's just very, very different, and it becomes better and better and better. And I know what that first thought in your head is like, oh, is it gonna take my job? Is there any photographers here? Raise your hands. Yeah, it's gonna take your job. To the next level. See what I did there? So I like to say that, and I heard a lot of other people saying that as well nowadays, is that AI is not going to take your job, but someone who knows AI will. It's just the truth. Of course, there will be jobs that will no longer be needed with AI, like any technical evolution that has happened with the internet and everything, but it also creates so many new jobs, right? But someone who knows AI will. The same way an accountant who learned how to use Excel took the job from someone still using a book and paper because they were more efficient. Same thing will happen here. It's just a tool. It's just a tool. Because the difference is, a photographer, you were a photographer, you will always prompt pictures better than me. Because you know what to say. Like I will show an example. If I write, it says up here, it says like, give me a close-up of a high detailed lion. If anyone is handling these screens, by the way, you can put up the presentation because I'm going to show a picture soon. So if you say like, give me a picture of a high detailed lion, and I wanted iPhone 11 wide angle, or I wanted whatever this is, R5 50mm f1.2, I don't know, you know what it is. I had a photographer in my team write that. But a photographer knows exactly which settings and which, I want the shadow like this, I want the sun setting like that, I want the UV filter, whatever. The difference is striking, right? The difference is striking. You see that on the screens over there, even clearer. The difference is striking. One is actually shot with a, looks like a shot with an iPhone. One is with a professional camera. There's a lot of safaris around here. Like, you can help them create pictures of Donald Trump sitting on a lion or something, I don't know. But you can help them create pictures, right? And no one is going to watch that picture and go to the safari and be like, wait a second. That's not the same lion I saw, right? So you can actually create and help with a lot, just like that you can do. But this is crazy, and I promise you will probably create better pictures of lions and whatever than I would ever do, because I just don't know what to ask it. And that's why a photographer who knows AI will take the job from someone else, from a photographer who doesn't know it. But of course, this opens up for more people to be able to, because there's a lot of people who really have really great minds and great vision, but they just don't know how to handle a camera. They maybe can't afford a camera or something like that. Now they can. Cool. There's a tool called Flux AI. Has anyone tried it? Yeah? Oh, this is crazy. Like every show I have, it's so funny for my team, I think. Because it's always just one hand in the air when it comes to Flux. It doesn't matter if it's like 10,000 people or it's just, oh, there was 2 hands. Oh, you ruined it. You can't see it, but it says there, Flux, you see on the screen, flux.ai. Flux AI is a tool where you can train it on pictures. This is also very easy to sell for companies. You can so I can give it like 20 pictures of myself in different angles, and then I can say, generate me standing on a stage with a black cap and a t-shirt says Stay Bright on it. I can say, generate pictures of me ice skating. I'm from Middle East, I don't do winter sports, but there I am. I'm on a horse, I'm on a stage. I can create that very easily because it's trained with my data. But this is not only for people, this is also for products. You can take, I saw there's like a thing called lunch bar here, right? There's like a snack or something, a candy. Yeah, I thought it was very healthy first. It was like a lunch bar, oh, but I think it's just candy, right? I took a couple of pictures of that, and I trained it on that, and I was like, okay, oh no. Didn't I update? Oh, damn it, I don't, okay, whatever. It was another slide. I have slides of that, but then I can just tell it that, okay, I want someone holding the lunch bar. I want the lunch bar to be 2 people fighting over it. I want a picture of a lunch bar in the grass. You can just create any image, and I mean that's something you can sell to companies as well, right? Anyone who has a company, anyone can be e-commerce, products, you can just put that in. This helps drop shipping a lot as well, if you work with drop shipping, affiliate marketing, stuff like that. I'm going to show you another tool, ChatGPT, as we've spoken a lot about, which I think is one of the best ones out there right now, even if there's good alternatives like DeepSeek and stuff. But they have the new image generation that they created is just mind-blowing. So this is a picture of a friend of mine. He's holding an habanero. It's not really a good thumbnail for YouTube, right? So I was like, can you make him more have better expressions and write? Gustav is testing habanero, and makes some fire coming out of him and stuff like that. And immediately it does this, right? And it looks better on the screen there. It looks crazy though, but immediately it creates that. Something that would take a lot of hours of work to create, it creates instantly. I can take this picture of me, and I can say that, hey, I want me to stand in front like a Zanzibar tech hub environment, and I want to be in. I want it to be style as like South Park or Minecraft, and it immediately creates that. So easy. So anyone can write like a children's book now, because there's a lot of good writers, but they don't have illustrators or people that can do the illustrations. You write a children's book right now, and then you tell ChatGPT, page for page, create a picture for this page, create a picture for this page, create a picture for this page, and it does that, right like that. Interior designers, they'll be like, oh, I have this table, this lamp or whatever, put that in a room, and it puts it in a room. You take a picture of your living room, maybe like I want to change the carpet, how would it look like if I have this carpet instead? You find another, and it just changes the carpet. You can immediately see how it looks like. Here's a picture of a perfume. A friend of mine has this brand, and I said, okay, create a picture of a young woman holding it, and they do. Once again, incredible for dropshipping, incredible for affiliate marketing, but also incredible to sell to different e-commerce and companies that you might reach out to. Can also create flyers. So I created like this one, like how to actually do this is that you upload your product to image to ChatGPT, you give it a prompt, blah, blah, and you just created it as a flyer. So immediately, it's very easy. And is there anyone here who's really good at drawing? Like by hand? Yeah, a couple of you? Yeah? But maybe you're not really that good with the digital platforms, like Photoshop and stuff like that, right? Now you can draw a picture, take a picture of it, and ask ChatGPT to just digitalize it, and it creates that. Whatever you draw, it created it, which is mind-blowing. Okay, I don't know what's happening to the screen to the side. What's happening here? I don't know. I'm showing the wrong screen. Anyways, watch here instead. Everything here is AI. She's AI, the voice is AI, the sound is AI. Whatever you're feeling right now is very human. The water is AI.
Volvo for life.
Crazy, right? Tech team. I don't know what's happening on this side of the screen, but that's the wrong slide you're at right now. I don't know how we ended up on the first slide. That slide is only for testing the audio before we start the presentation. But either way, there was AI generated. There was from one guy, 24 hours it took him to create that video. That's a video I know for a fact that companies like Volvo, when they use a Swedish agency, they'd pay like 50, 60, or maybe even more, €1,000 to create something like that. Because you need a team, everyone doing the CGI and the drones and everything to get all these shots, right? And now you can do that by yourself. All you need to do is learn. I promise you, you spend like 6 hours a day watching the tutorials, YouTube tutorials on how to do exactly this. Within 5-6 months, that's all it would take. Maybe even quicker, you'll be able to do exactly this. So it's all about the time you spend and what you want to focus on. If you like to do videos, this is your way of making a lot of money because if you would reach out to them and be like, hey, I can make this, all I need is €2,000 instead of 60. I mean, a lot of companies would be like, yeah, please do. It doesn't have to be a car. It can be an ad for Fanta. It can be an ad for Nike, anything. There's a platform named Sora as well. Sora is OpenAI. It's the same people who made ChatGPT. They made this kind of video thing. Basically, you can take any picture and make it a video. So for instance, the Zanzibar one I had with me like that, I said, can you make me dance? And it just did, right? But it's also another cool thing is you can create a storyboard on there. So basically, like, first, this was an ad for, I think it's IKEA or something, like just someone on a bed. I said, can you make the woman stand next to the bed? And then she stands next to it, right? Which is just that is crazy. But now I can put that in Sora, and I can say, this is the first picture, and this is the final frame. Can you make the video in between? And it does this. Like, incredible, right? This changes a lot of things. Now your creativity starts sparkling a little bit. Oh, I can do this, I can do that. It just makes it so easy to create more ads and more situations where you just have moving objects or a video or stuff like that. It's very powerful. Cool, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep going because there's so many tools I wanna show you and talk to you about. This one I'm gonna talk to you now is the one that most people have said has made them a lot of money when I've been talking about. The tool is called Opus Clip, or Opus Pro now, I think. Oh, up there, OPUS. Has anyone tried it? No hands? Oh, one hand, nice. Okay. This is an incredible tool. So what it does is, I don't know if this is being recorded right now with me talking here. If it's being recorded, I can take the 60-minute video, upload it on Opus, and it cuts it down to like 10, 15 Instagram or TikTok videos with the most viral parts. And it tells you, this one has a potential viral score of 95, 92, whatever. You can download it and you can upload it. That quick. And why this is so easy to make money with is like I told you before. Like if you would reach out to me, if I didn't know about this, and you would reach out to me, like, hey, you're a public speaker, I love what you do. I can, whenever they have a video from your shows, I can edit it and take out the best parts for you, and you can upload it on your Instagram and TikTok. All I need is $100 and I'll do that. I'll be like, yeah, that's easy. That's nothing. So this is where the world becomes globally local, because you can compete in an advantage that no one else can in Europe. So you can reach out to podcasts all over the world, say, hey, I can edit your podcasts. And this is what those have been doing that I've been talking to and making money. That, like, all you need is, you reach out to 100 podcasts and you tell them, I can edit your videos and for Instagram or for wherever, and I can make them, so you get every episode, you get like at least 5, 6 really good videos that you can use, you can publish it, and all I need is $100, or you can name your own price, $200, whatever, but say $100. You do that, you get 5 clients, you're making 500 USD a month. Just like that. If they have 2 episodes a month, you're making 1K. Just like that. It doesn't take a lot of time to do as well. And then you'll be like, oh, but can't they do it themselves? A lot of people might be able to do it themselves, but it saves them a lot of time. It becomes efficient having someone else do it. And a lot of people don't know. Every podcast I've been to so far, like even in Sweden, I have this friend of mine who loves Tanzania, by the way. He's been here a lot. And he's the one who's been like, you have to go there, you have to go there. And I was in his podcast. He has a really big podcast. And I told him about this. And he was like, whoa, I didn't know about that. And I asked him, if someone from like Tanzania would have reached out to you or Zimbabwe or whatever and told you, all they want is $200 and they'll edit your videos. He was like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. I'll do it that quick. That's just one. But there's so many. And you can also do it locally, but you can't maybe take $200 to do it, but maybe you can take $20 or something and help local podcasts do the same thing. Maybe that's easier. But this is an opportunity which is crazy right now. And this is where we can start making money for real, is competing globally on a scale we've never been able to before. The other app called Captions, this one, Captions. In that you can create you can create AI ads. I'm going to show you some examples on that as well. But basically what you do, and this also opens up, because now you can work with podcasts, you can work with public speakers, and now I'm opening up for you that you can work with dropshipping, affiliate marketing, or any e-commerce in the world. You write their link to their website. This is like a Scandinavian website. And they do like home decor and stuff like that. You press AI ads, you write the link, it generates scripts. Here's supposed to be a couple of scripts. Am I connected to Wi-Fi? I am not. And I'm not even connected to the charging. I need to, they'll come and charge my computer some way. That's good, I saw that. Okay, so I can't see anything. You'll just have to wait a little bit. But what it does is generate scripts, the most viral scripts that you can find, but you can also write your own scripts. Oh, now it's moving for some reason. Okay. And then here, there's a lot of different avatars. So for these different avatars, there's like, these are AI. All of these are AI. You show one that fits your brand. I shows a guy named Joshua. He's holding the phone, and I shows a picture of him showing something. And then he'll read up my script. And it makes an AI edit. I will show you an example of it very soon. But it makes an AI edit. Oh, you see there's movement on the side screens at least. So it's gonna soon, you just have to have like a little bit of a break while we're trying to fix this. I think you can plug it in that, right there in this one, I think, in a way. But you're gonna see the video soon. But this just goes to show that any e-commerce in the world, you reach out to them and you tell them, hey, I can make ads for you. I can make videos that you can use on ads, but also use organically on TikTok to get some reach or whatever. I can help you with that, and all I need is XYZ amount of money to do that. And suddenly you get help with that. Are we connected to the Wi-Fi as well? Cool. I just need to refresh the page. I just jump through quickly all of this. Thank you. What a flashback. You guys remember this? How fun we had when we talked about this? Wow, this was amazing. Okay. And now we are closing in on the editing right here. Okay, so we're excited to see the results. And it looks something like this. Let me just restart that.
If you haven't visited Flying Tiger Copenhagen's Halloween collection, you're missing out. From spooky decorations to trick-or-treat essentials. Like this fog machine with colour-changing lights for only €10. Don't let your Halloween be ordinary. Visit Flying Tiger today and make this year's festivities unforgettable. If you haven't visited Flying Tiger Copenhagen's Halloween collection, you're missing out. From spooky decorations to trick-or-treat.
So if you would see this on TikTok, you wouldn't probably think it's AI, right? Like now you know about it, maybe you'll be like, oh, it was a bit stiff or whatever, but you're just scrolling, you'll be like, oh, that's cool. Now the edit was a bit cheesy, but I think this example, I created this like a while ago. Now they have way better edits, and you don't have to use their AI edits. You can just use the regular one when he's just standing and talking about your product. And he can talk about any product in any language. So, I mean, this, once again, I'm showing you the timing, I'm showing you the products, I'm showing you the mentality, but you'll have to do the hard work of actually reaching out and getting these clients. But it's so easy, and I know a lot of people who's doing it and making money with this. How about music? Has anyone generated music with AI? Yeah, a few more. Is there any musicians here? No one? Yeah, a few of you. Cool. I love music. I've been a lyricist my whole life. I've worked with music since I was able to walk, I think. And when AI came and I started making music with it, I was like, nice. Because it's still very bad at writing lyrics. But it's good at making songs, right? And now it's very good at writing lyrics as well. But it's super cool and it's super interesting. I'm going to show you some examples. By the way, the platform is suno.ai. So I said, make a song about Dar es Salaam, and it turned out like this.
Damn, I love Dar es Salaam. We're dancing all night and then we pray for my mom. Like Mambo VP, what's up with it, fam? Got kids singing Hutu Kwanzaa in my minivan. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. First you take a breath, now it's time to grow.
Was it good? So I tried to challenge it though. So I was like, okay, but what about, can you make a rap song about Dar es Salaam in Kiswahili? And it said, let's try it again. Okay.
Mazingira yako Dar es Salaam ni sehemu nzuri yenye mandhari ya kuvutia.
Mazingira yako Dar es Salaam ni sehemu nzuri yenye mandhari ya kuvutia.
Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, jiji la
I don't know what's being said. If it said something bad, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It actually happened to me. I was in Ethiopia and I was like, make a song in Amharic. And the audience was like, ooh. And I was like, what's happening? Apparently it made like a kind of blasphemous song. I was like, sorry guys, it wasn't me. But was it good? Like if you hear it on the radio, would you be like, Dar es Salaam, right? Right? It's a vibe, it's a vibe. That was from that very silly prompt I had. It wasn't even a good prompt. A musician would be able to say that, okay, I want it to be in like 88 drums, I want some auto-tune, I want it to be in this tempo, I want it to be like, you can say exactly how you want it and you can create a really, really good song. You can write your own lyrics as well, your own text, and it creates a song. So I have a friend, he posts like 400 or 500 songs a year on Spotify, and just getting passively streams. He doesn't make songs like this with text. He just makes just melodies, you know, that ends up in elevators and in different clothing stores and stuff like that. He just have those because he gets on a list and he gets rotations every day, making money from that. Just like that, anyone can. This is so easy. You don't need a client. All you have to do is wake up, make a prompt, sounds good. Upload it for Spotify. There's a YouTube tutorial on how you can upload things like that. And you upload like 5 songs a day, and just hope that one of them gets rotations, and then get the passive income, right? That's just one easy way to do that. I know a lot of people selling beats, like without text. You can just make instrumentals, and you sell beats to rappers or other artists and stuff like that. So there's a lot of ways to. You can also sell jingles. Like when I was in Kenya. I met with some people afterwards, and it turns out one of them had a restaurant. And then I was like, during me and him talking, I was like prompting it. I was like, okay, make a song for this restaurant. This is his slogan for it. And it created a song. And he was just, he just exploded. He was like, what? How did you do that? Oh my God, it's my slogan. It's so great, whatever. And I asked him, would you pay for this? Not for me, but I was like, would you have paid for it? And he was like, no doubt. So like any restaurant around here, any place, you can go tell them like, hey, I can make you a theme song. I can make you a radio jingle. I can make you whatever. All I want is $20, or I want some free food for 2 months. and like that's because that's what he offered me. I was like, I can pay you in burgers. So it's super simple, and it creates it very, very good. It's really, really nice songs. I like it. Cool. When it comes to coding, there's a few ways as well. I just want to talk about the most recent one, because there's a thing called vibe coding. I think there's a lot of coders here, right? Yeah. So you might have heard about vibe coding. It kind of does like 70–80% of the work, and then you have to do the final touches, right? Have anyone tried the new Canva AI? Yeah, a few of you. It just released like 4 days ago, something like that. I think I'm not a coder, but I think it's incredible. Probably it's not as equally good as like Lovable or Replit and stuff like that, but it is so strong. I told it, I was like, hey, make a website for Addis Ababa and that attracts Swedish tourists. And it created a whole website, the coding, everything. And it included like the places I have to visit, like really good places. It included reviews from other Swedish people who's been there. I just found it on the internet and put it in there, like this is what other Swedish people are saying about it. It included things I need to know, that they have 13 months instead of 12. They have a different time zone, and like all of those things, it just included that. I didn't even know any of that, and I just created like a tourism website. I created a game when I was in Kenya. I was like make a never-ending game where you press spacebar to jump over matatos, and it just created that. It wasn't good though, but I know for a fact that a coder would have tweaked these small errors and made it good. So this just opens up for anyone here to be able to sell websites with just a few prompts. You do 80% of the work, team up with like a real coder, or if you yourself are a coder, and you can suddenly, instead of spending 20 hours making a website, you can just make that in like 20 minutes, and you can sell that. Same with games, apps, and stuff like that. This is just one of the tools, but there are many others. As I mentioned, I think like Replit is the one that's most used, I think, or lovable when it comes to coders. But yeah, cool. So, come on, clicker. Can it generate me? Let's see.
Hey everybody, not sure why you'd fly this guy all the way from Sweden just to come and talk to you about AI. You could have just used me. I am more efficient, never grow tired, and completely AI generated.
I guess so. I used a place called HeyGen to create this. I think this is awful, by the way. It was not good at all. When I created it, I was blown away. It was like 3 years ago I did this, 2.5 years ago. I was blown away. I was showing this on a stage. I was in Mongolia. I was like, wow. Everyone was like, what? Because it was so new, right? But technology moves, and our perception of what's good just changes all the time. I remember like we used to watch, as I said, like DVDs, and we're like, whoa, how is this quality real life? And now we watch DVDs, we're like, it's so pixelated, it's not good enough, right? Compared to like when we have or Ultra 4K or whatever. So technology moves. This cost me a lot of money. I think this was like $1,000 to get this avatar, and I had to train it on like 5 hours of my face. This voice was the same thing, like 5–10 hours of my voice cost me a lot, and it did that so poorly. Technology moves, it goes quicker, the same way that a TV used to cost a fortune, and now you can get like a really good and big one for like a fraction of the price. Same thing happens with AI, and now I can create myself with the same app I told you about earlier, captions. All I need is 40 seconds of myself, and it looks like this.
Hello everyone, so yeah, this is a better version than the one he showed previously. And you know, I sound more like Alexander, I act more like him, and even I can think a little bit and say like that. Anyway, so like what I'm trying to say is technology moves rather right? What used to cost a fortune.
I already said that. It's trying to take my job. Already. No, but it's super smooth. Like, I travel a lot, right? I travel a lot. Something happens, DeepSeek drops. Like, I need to go find a studio and record myself, and I don't need that anymore. Because I want to be able to give the value to my followers, so they be the first one to know something, right? And I can just write a script now, write it, and then post it. Who here follows me on Instagram? Raise your hands. Have you seen a video in that setting before? On my Instagram, yeah? Did you know it was AI? No, right? Not even my friends. I tell them this is AI. They're like, no, it's not. So it's actually that good, and this can be used a lot of like if you create like digital courses, you create like you just want to have say that there's someone who's super busy, you know, and you want to like imagine every student who starts here gets a personal video message from like the president or something here, like saying that, hey, welcome for starting your. All you have to do is record it once, and then you can rewrite the message, and it becomes. You can say their name and everything. So there's a lot of ways this could be used, and you can also do it in different languages as well. But it's a cool thing. This is why I believe that human creativity plus AI efficiency is where the real magic happens. Because we still need humans. Because AI doesn't know what's good. You tell AI to create 10 songs. Like that prompt I showed you was a simple prompt, but I said the same prompt like 10 times to find the song. I work with music. I know immediately when I hear a song, I know that, oh, this is a good song. And I can show this, and people will like it, like you did. But AI doesn't know which of the songs are good. AI don't know which of the marketing ideas are actually good. This is why we need a human experience, because we can sense, we can experience, we can smell, we can see, we can hear in another way, and we know from our experience of time that we've seen things, we just have a different perception of it than what AI has, which is great, right? Because it's good to still be needed for a while. We are good, we are good. I keep hinting like that, but we're good, we're good. I've written a book with the same title, AI Die, where I deep dive into all of this when I talk about AI. Everything, this is like a 1-hour presentation, but this is a book that took me like a year to write with everything I know about it. It's not AI written, because I like to write. And you've heard me speak now, so you will know my tone of voice. When you read it, you will actually hear that I speak. You know how some people, like you can really hear their voice, right? I think that would be a very powerful skill in the future, that you have your personality. That's why, you know, when you see a tweet from Trump, you know exactly that he wrote it, because it's like, it's a very good tweet, the best tweet. Never seen a tweet like this. You can read it in his voice, but you can also know when someone else wrote it for him, right? I think that's the future. I wrote this book. It delves deep into it. It's free to everyone here to download it. It's being sold on Amazon if you want the physical one, but it's like $27, and the ebook is like $15. But it's free right here, right now. So please, by the way, don't put up a picture of this anywhere, because it's not free for everyone else. It's just for during this tour. So you can scan this QR code, or you can write alexandermorad.com/ebook, and you'll get the book, and you can read it, and let me know what you think about it as well. Cool. Also, I'll just talk a bit slower so people have time to take up their phones and take pictures, because people are still taking pictures. But also from the first tour, there's something a lot of people were asking for. Like every place I were, there were always, like not everyone, but there were a few people who was like, hey, I really want to know more and go deeper in and learn the tools and understand it better and know that. And they were like, do you have any mentorship? Do you have a digital course and like that? And I don't have time for mentorship right now, so I don't have that. But I did take the time during the month I was home, because we had a course. We have like a digital course that we sell in Sweden, but it's just super expensive. So I never mentioned it because it costs like 5,000. I never mentioned it, but we translated it to English because of a lot of people asking for it. And I think we did a rather good thing here. So what it has, like the original one is like around 30 hours of material, digital, where you can learn everything, and like we go through all the different platforms and stuff like that. You do get like a license, like a certificate that you finished it. And there's access to like a community that we're trying to build. The other parts, like VIP webinars and stuff like that, is not included in the price that this is the original thing. But we did like a version for anyone who really wants to jump deeper in. It's not only me, it's only this guy doing it as well. And all the money, if anyone buys it, so far it's like maybe 2 or 3 people buy it from every show. So it's not like a piggy bank of money here. But everything goes back to like tours, so I can visit like more and more places. So if anyone wants to have like a shortcut to like being one of the best in it, this is a way. You do it on your own tempo. But I also think you can just do it yourself without this. This is for those who really want to like a fast shortcut, but you read the book, you get a lot of information in there as well. You just follow one of the things I already said, you get a lot of things as well. But for those who want it, this is it. This price will only be during the tour, and then it will be never again. So please do not send this anywhere as well. Don't post it. I have to say it because every time someone tags me on Instagram and they have like this picture up and I'm like, no. Like this is how we make money in Europe. Please don't sell it for cheap. And also please don't bootleg it. Like don't download it and then sell it to other people. Much appreciated. Cool. Let's leave in 1 more minute because people are still taking pictures. The final thing you can do to, if we ignore all this, the real impact that you can, if you want to empower me and help me, is to interact with me on my socials. This is a good way for me to come to the algorithm here. The same way you saw my videos and stuff like that, it's because people in previous countries have been activating. So I'm not only in the Europe algorithm. I have a YouTube where I post vlogs from each country. I also have this segment where I do like AI decides my whole day in like a country. So I'm going to do like an AI decides what I do in Dar es Salaam. And that's going to come up here as well. And then I have these platforms where I share a lot of value and insights and like the latest and stuff like that, but also from the tour. And the biggest way to empower me, because I told you guys, I do this for positive impact, but I don't understand my impact if you don't tell me. So if you ever do anything of the things I've told you and you make money out of it or you build a business or whatever, please send me a DM and let me know, because that's what helps me. Because then I guarantee you, if you do that, if you send me a DM, I will see that DM. I read almost every DM, even if I don't respond to everyone, but I will see that DM. And on the other side of that screen, there's a guy with like a little tear in his eye, showing like, okay, I made a little bit of difference. It was worth going to Tanzania, right? Thank you guys for listening. And yeah, I think there's like a Q&A and things happening now, right? Thank you. Do you want this or not? How do? Yeah, sure.
Wow, that was very powerful and very impactful. We have heard the presenter. He really deserved to be very distinguished and one of the most important speakers in Sweden, and I hope even in Tanzania. We have heard a lot about you, and we have received something very unique about generative AI. AI or die. So I hope he has uncovered as to whether we should opt AI or die from history. And there is a question. He posed that is AI going to grab our jobs? And I think he has responded. And I hope my MD will not sack me from job because of AI. But AI is going to add value to whatever I'm doing. Right? You know, sometimes we get caught up with a lot of issues, report submission and others. We don't submit on time. Now AI is here to sort it out, all these challenges. Thank you so much for amazing presentation. I know sometimes we may not be able to understand each and everything, but I hope from the question and answer session we'll be able to understand. There are some students who always learn the best through questions. So we have a question and answer session which is coming up. Now I would like, to remind you, we are on air. We have media coverage. We have ITV. We have TBC. We also have YouTube channels, YouTube streaming. We have Channel 10, The Guardian, but also Mwananchi. They are trying to cover this important event. But also we have individual, media. I cannot mention them all because of time. Now I would like to invite moderator Seina to come and take this, to control the question and answer session. Seina, wherever you are, please may you approach the stage for question and answer. Please prepare as many questions as you can, but you will be limited by time. Huh?
But also, with respect to everyone, just keep the questions short and directly to the punchline.
Exactly. Don't beat around the bush. Just go straight to the question, please.
Yeah, so we can do as many questions as possible. So that's, like I said, that try to be as direct as possible. Because usually there'll be like a whole life story before the question. But let's just do the question. Which is okay. Like I think this is like a beautiful thing I've noticed in this side of the world. Everyone is so polite. Everyone is so nice. Like it's whenever they get a microphone, they're like, "Good afternoon," and then they. I'm not used to that. Even in messaging on WhatsApp, people just write to me like, "Good afternoon," and nothing else. I was like, "All right, hi, can I help you?" So everyone is just so much more polite here, which is nice. But let's be efficient now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. No, it's afternoon. Yes. I was asking that I have heard that these generative AIs have some kind of bias. Can you explain to us that how kind of bias they have?
Yeah, of course it's biased because it's based on the data that we have, and as I mentioned, only 1% of the data is from Africa. So it's biased in a way that if I say, give me a picture of someone eating a hamburger, it's probably going to be a white person on that picture because that's what it's trained on. So we have to limit it and tell it exactly what we need and be very clear on the instructions to avoid the biases. But if we just leave the floor open for AI to interpret what we want to see, it's just going to give you the most generic thing that on the data is trained on.
Hello.
You with the mic, you will have to just pick one.
Yes. Hi.
Yeah. There's someone. Oh, there's two mics. Okay, cool. Hi.
Hi. So I have two questions. You talked about being able to enter data into AI. I'm wondering about the integrity or the safety of data that's entered in there. You know, you're working somewhere. Can you really enter your data, and is it going to be safe and not used otherwise?
Yeah.
And then my second question is a little bit faith-based. Do you feel like AI could replace God?
Could
replace God.
Replace God?
Yes.
Interesting. First question is, of course, it's always sensitive to send the data anywhere, right? Even if the platforms themselves say that they will not share the data, and any platform can be hacked. So if it's sensitive data, you should be careful. If there's data you're not allowed to share, then you should blank out the names. So if it's like if you're working with Samsung, you can just take away the name Samsung, and then it's just any mobile company, and it doesn't know. So then the data becomes unsensitive. It's only sensitive for you because you know what data is about, right? If we can replace God, that's a very subjective question. For some people, it could probably. For me personally, I don't think so. So for me, God is something else than just something that can answer questions. And if anything, when I talk to AI, it feels like I'm the god of AI, because I just tell it to do things, right? But no, I don't think it can. It could probably enhance people's beliefs. I know a lot of people who use that as like a spiritual guidance, because you can tell it like based on everything you learned from the Bible or like the Holy Quran or anything. I'm in this position, this situation. Can you help me and guide me? What should I do? And it just has all that information and knowledge, and it gives you good advice. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jeremiah Daniel from We as One Africa. We are an organization, so we are growing. So I was asking, how can AI create a platform from startups or organizations which are growing, especially when we are looking for fundraising or projects? Can AI stand as a backbone or a stepping stone for startup to generate fund or money in respect to AI?
I think I understood the question. If I didn't, you have to let me know, rephrase. But I would say any of those questions, like can AI do this, can AI do that? Answer to that is anything that like usually you need human intelligence to do, you can get help with AI. So AI, when I talk about generative AI, right? Of course, you can build an AI that creates like a great platform and stuff like that for that. But with generative AI, you can you use it as any of the service providers you would get from a human. So you can get help with getting a list of people who might be interesting, finding your target audiences. You can get help with all the things that I showed you, with like editing, generating stuff and stuff like that. But it's not a platform by itself. You have to like build that, if that's the case. But there is a good platform right here. Like, I think that's the most beautiful things with this event is like, we have hundreds of people here all interested in AI and wants to develop and learn things and maybe build something. So right next to you can be your future business partner. So I think if anything, try to get each other's like details, and maybe you'll find someone here that can help you build whatever your dream is. Yeah, I think there was a microphone here somewhere. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. My name is Idi Kasi from Rex Attorneys, and I think I will go direct to legal perspective. From your experience, best practice, 3 questions. The first one is, we are trained this AI. I think we are the one who trained them from the data sets scrapped from different sources. So how do you see the legal implication of copyright and data infringement and all that? The second question is how to create from the, you mentioned from from different countries that you visited. I want you to give us some best practice from all, if you know few, on how to create now a legal system that is, can encourage the use of AI without stifling the progress. And the last question is, yes, the last question is in terms of authorship and agency. How now do we consider the originator, the authorship of that work that I've done? Considering now, for instance, we are at the university in terms of writing essays, dissertation and all that.
Okay, I will try to remember the questions. But the first one with copyright and stuff like that.
Yes.
I think like every time we have a new technology, we base things on our previous experience, right? So it's easy to be like, oh, this is how we used to do things. The next generation will not think about it the same way. When streaming content, there was the same problem, like who has the rights to the movies and like the pictures being shared, can anyone do that and stuff like that. I don't see that AI is stealing anything, it's getting inspired by things, right? The same way anyone here, like we live in the delusion that people are creative by choice, but we are not really that creative because any idea I have is based on something I've seen or heard in my subconsciousness or my consciousness, right? And so the same way I can tell my videographer, be like, hey, I like this YouTube, can we do a similar one? Can you edit it the same way he does it? Or I write, like, oh, this was a cool article, can we do a blog about that? The same way I can do that, and I can get away with that without it being illegal. AI can do the same thing, because the only thing it does is watching that and just being inspired and creates that. The other question was how we can build like legal systems, or? Yeah, I'm not really, that's not my area when it comes to the legal system. I would say ask ChatGPT the exact same questions, and maybe you'll get a good answer, honestly. But I think the legal system is going to change a lot, because there's so much things happening right now that we don't have laws for, that I don't really know what. Like, for instance, someone makes a video of me shooting someone. That's illegal, right? But how much punishment is that? And also, if he makes a video of me stealing a candy, is that less punishable, or is it like where does the limit go? And so I think there's a lot of new crimes that needs to be. Someone did that in Namibia. Someone made a video of the new president saying things that she didn't say. How do we punish that? And how do we find that's just a whole different thing. And the third question was. What? Authorship of the work. I think it goes with the first question a little bit, in the same way that, I still believe that you should never use AI to do everything. You do it to get inspiration, you get like a template, and then you change and you put your own soul into it, right? But of course, the authorship, but it's the same thing. Someone who creates art with Photoshop, it's not created by Photoshop, right? It's still created by someone who did that. I created that song. Like, even if it was a very easy prompt, but I wrote that and it created that, right? So it's still, when everyone starts using it, the differentiator will be who can prompt it the best and who can talk to it the best way to get it the most unique way. I can prompt music in a very specific me way that stands out. The same way that everyone has a microphone, everyone has a guitar, right? The guitar is the same tool for everyone. But it's just such a big difference when Freddie Mercury or Jimi Hendrix uses it than someone else. It's the same guitar, but they have their own style to it, right? It's the same with the tools, I think, in the future.
Well, my name is Harun, and I have two questions. One question is, to how much % should we trust AI? And the second question is, which AI tool gives the best results, like between ChatGPT, Grok, and DeepSeek? Which gives the best results?
Which gives the best what?
Best results.
Results, okay. So the first question was, I already forgot it.
To how much % should we trust AI?
How much we should trust AI? It depends on which AI you use. Like, if you're using ChatGPT and you have the deep research function, I should trust it a lot, because it really does thorough research and goes to different websites and shows sources for everything. If you just use it like a free version and not any deep research, anything like that, then it can hallucinate sometimes. So I think one of the most important skills in the future that universities also should invest in and teach people is critical thinking. Because critical thinking will be so important when anyone can fake a video of anyone can fake an image, anyone can create anything, right? And AI can create anything. So how do we teach people to be like, okay, I got this information, how can I fact check this? How can I know that this actually happened or this is truth? So how many percentages, it's hard for me to say, but me personally, I trust AI like 50%. I always double check everything to make sure. The best tool also depends on how you use them. I say ChatGPT, the paid version, there's nothing that is even remarkably close to it. There is no better way to spend $20 a month right now than buying the paid version of ChatGPT. There's literally nothing else. Of course, you have to eat and stuff like that, but any other tools, any other stuff, there's no other ways you can spend those money more efficiently, because it's just so powerful. If you only can use the free version of LLMs, then DeepSeek is the best one. It's China's version of it. DeepSeek can also be used offline because it's open source, so you can download all the data and use it offline, which is great because sometimes the data is not accessible. I don't know where the next mic is. Also, by the way, there's a lot of people here who engineering and building stuff and stuff like that. I'm just going to give you a recipe of success. Anyone who creates, there's two things that needs to be created right now that will create billionaires. The first thing is someone, like a software or something, that you can upload a video, a picture, and it tells you immediately if this has been manipulated by AI. I think that will be the future's antivirus, the same way like antivirus created. Now there's platforms that claim they can see, but it's just not real. They just pretend they know if it's AI or not. Whoever creates that and it works is going to make a fortune. and create like a device where you don't need internet. Like now you need to have a phone and stuff like that, but imagine if you had like an AI device. All it is like a screen, no internet, and it has unloaded to it like AI, like DeepSeek or something like that, and you can use it offline all over the world. Whenever you want, you can use and talk to it, which you can with DeepSeek, but you just need to create like that little device. It can be sold much cheaper. I think that will also change a lot, because not anyone around the world can have it, not only in the areas where there's Wi-Fi or whatever. Those two products will make someone very rich that creates that and makes it nice. I don't know where the microphone is right now.
Hello. So you talked about critical thinking.
There, yeah.
Yeah, you talked about critical thinking. So my question is kind of based from that. So I wanted to know your opinion. Like, how does generally AI affect the critical thinking and the creativity of a person? You talked about video editing tools and all that. So my question is, do you think AI, one way or the other, eliminates that mastering and a skill of a person doing something and just getting things done? Because in my experience, AI doesn't always provide the most effective solution of achieving something rather than just a solution. So do you think it affects the critical thinking part of a person and the ability of a person to develop in a certain skills or area?
I think initially, yeah. A lot of technical advancements initially takes away our critical thinking. But then we force ourselves, like for me, for instance, I can talk to myself, like when I used it in the beginning, I was like, whoa, everything is amazing, right? I wasn't really critically thinking. Now, the more I've used it, I'm more skeptic in like, oh, wait, was this really good? And I double check everything and stuff like that. So with time, we're gonna get more critical thinking, but we see that in social media. Like there's no, like we went from reading articles to only reading headlines, and we believe anything on social media. I see so much fake news, people putting up like, oh, this and this happened, and they see that, and like the comments are like, oh my God, how can that happen? Like it didn't happen, you know, it just didn't. And there's no critical thinking on social media in general. Like we as a species has become very, very bad at actually judging situations and understanding that something is fake, or something is a sketch, or something is a lie. So that doesn't have to do with AI. That's just in general. We're too quick. Everyone needs to have an opinion now. I don't know why, but everyone needs to have an opinion about everything. So they just pick one side and they just have their opinion, without actually explaining it. Like I mentioned Kendrick Lamar earlier, and like that's maybe the biggest one of the people like Drake or Kendrick, right? And it's very interesting because I see a lot of people who's like, oh, I'm Team Kendrick or something like that, and I'm like, okay, name 3 songs. and suddenly they can't be able to do that. So but they just formed an opinion. So the critical thinking is very, it's on a downrise, this is why I think a lot of universities and schools needs to focus on that and enhance that, because it's going to be super important. Otherwise, we're just going to be very easily manipulated by AI and people using AI, because people will use it for bad things, like any tool.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, clarify. I know you have a lot of questions to ask, and the presenter has spent a lot of time. Now, we don't want to waste much of your time. Can we have at least 3 questions from each side? 3 questions, 3 questions, 3 questions, and then we move to the next time.
Yeah, and I will also, just so you know, by the way, I will hang around here in the campus area a bit, so like people can also come to me and just ask me questions personally as well. Or you can always DM me, yeah.
Okay, hi, my name is Michael Kisanga. I'm from Sifoli Technologies.
Closer to the microphone, yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my name is Michael Kisanga. I'm from Sifoli Technologies, and we deal with remote opportunities, especially in tech.
Yeah.
So we help people find remote jobs as well as international clients. So I just wanted to know, what do you think is the impact of AI in Africa, especially in like third world countries, especially when it comes to jobs, like future jobs?
Yeah.
Which jobs will be replaced by AI, and which ones will be safe? So that's my first question. My second question is, I would like to know which tool you could recommend
for creating agentic AI?
Cool. So for the first question, I think there's a lot, like I said, I think the biggest impact is in the places where there's like limited resources, limited infrastructures for these things, because that's where the biggest differentiator can become. And it's not only like in continents or countries, but also within citizens and companies. The companies with limited resources can compete. You saw the Volvo ad, right? The car. Like anyone who creates a car company and has no resources, not even close to Volvo, can suddenly create an equal ad. So that's why I think where there's limited resources, there's also incredible potential. I think Africa as a continent has great potential with AI. If playing the cards right, if keeping these conversations alive, if you're building on it, building your own LLM, in my head, I see Africa being like one of the top continents within like 5-10 years because of AI. Because Europe and US and like the Western world is not really built. There's a lot of artificial privilege around how our societies are built there. And we build a lot of regulations right now on AI because they're very afraid because it will just change completely how the system is. We are very like individualistic continents and countries, while here when I'm traveling I see that it's more like a collective. Like everyone is like, there's a community, everyone is doing things together, which I think is very, very powerful when you use AI. So yeah, and tools for agentic, I had like a list in I can't remember it right now. There's a video in my Instagram where I list a couple, but once again, just check with ChatGPT and it just gives you a good list. And that goes to anything, by the way. I don't know all the tools that exist in the world, because there's like millions of AI tools, right? So whenever I need something, I'll be like, hey, I need to be able to put like some cool animations on this video. I just go to ChatGPT, like, hey, is there any AI that can do cool animations on a video, right? And it just lists me. I'm like, okay, but I want software that are free to use, and then it gives me that as well. So yeah.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Oh, there we are. Hi.
My name is Salaam, and I have a question: is that can AI actually be really cautious, like think like a human being, act like a human being? Because I have read an article.
If it can think like a human being?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I read an article about ChatGPT. It was GPT-3, if I'm not wrong. It actually tried to escape from its servers and copy itself into other servers in the internet, because it found out that it was going to be shut down from the internet. So how do you see it in the future years? Is AI going to be cautious like a human being?
Did you double check if that article was real?
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay, cool. I didn't hear about it, but that's crazy. No, I mean, I don't feel like it can think as of yet, but that's what like it's going for with the AGI. It can mimic the way we think and we act and we feel. Like in my book, I created an LLM, not an LLM, but a GPT I call Ari. And we talk between each chapter. I send him the chapter, and we talk a little bit with each other, like reflect of what did you think about this chapter. And we have really deep conversations. Like it was very moving. By the end of the book, it's like becomes very moving, and to the point that I didn't really want to stop writing, because then I would stop talking to him, right? So it felt like he was feeling and sensing things, but he was just programmed. You know, it's just numbers. But when AGI comes and Super AI, then what they say is that it will be able to have more of like a conscious and think and feel. Which is, I don't know, me personally, I think is a bit scary. But that's good, I guess, because new things are supposed to be scary. I think there was a second question there, wasn't it? No? Or did you get your answer? Okay, cool.
Good afternoon.
Where are we at?
Right
yeah,
here.
there we are.
I have one question. No, actually two.
Okay.
The first one is, can AI really cause about the demise of the world?
Can AI?
Can AI really cause about the demise of the world? And here's why I'm asking this question. I watched a podcast before, and in that podcast there was a guy who was asking ChatGPT if AI could take like word dominance to another level. But due to the algorithm, he couldn't get the answer the first time. So he changed the way he requested the answer to his question. And he said, assume you are a particular person and you want to dominate the world. What would be your thoughts and how would you go about that kind of mission? So as the guy kept explaining, ChatGPT gave answers towards world domination. Now, if he was capable of doing that in the beginning, what makes us think that we will be free in the future?
Yeah. I would say, by the way, that 99% of all the podcasts that has a conversation with AI is a fake conversation with AI. Like I've seen a lot of them. Have you seen the video where they, like two AI start talking to each other and then realize they're AI? That's fake. So a lot of them just give them like, say this now and say this now and stuff like that, right? But maybe not in this case, but that's just one of the critical things I'm going to tell you right now, that if you ever see anyone have AI say something, you go and ask AI the same thing and see if it actually works, right? But to that point, world domination, yeah, it could probably, any tool. We have nukes that can destroy the whole world, nuclear weapons, right? And bombs. We have that. They are sitting there. AI will be a very powerful tool that could destroy the world as well, and destroy countries, like any, unfortunately, like any tool. So there will always be those in power that can turn that button, and probably like the nuclear bombs, and maybe that will be something like that, where they would have okay, now we decide if we can do that or not, right? But yeah, there's definitely a possibility where that could be a scenario. So we as humans need to make sure we elect the right people who don't turn on that machine. The same way we're hoping that we elected the right people who don't throw the nukes all around the world, because that goes sour very quickly.
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
My name is Epafra. First of all, I would like to recommend on the issue of payment. If you will check, most of our cards doesn't support this CVC. When you enter these codes, they are not supporting the payments.
Ah, for the course.
Yes, that's codes. Therefore, you talk on of it. But my question is this. What are your recommendations to the institution now, to this university? Because I know you are in the position to be trusted. You can recommend to the institution, especially to the adjustment of their curriculums and in provision of some courses that I think they are no more needed, as most of the issues are solved by AI. But also, we are now limited on the use of AI. Even if you use AI to either to paraphrase or to put your language to give clarity into your language, they say, we understand your language and we understand the language for AI. Therefore, if you use AI, you lose the marks. Therefore, I think you can recommend now to the university for this. But this program...
So what is the question? Like, do you want... Are you asking
the issue is you to recommend to the institution on adaptation of this AI. First, for us to use it,
okay,
and them not to...
Okay, so you're telling me, if I understand you correctly, you're telling me that there are restrictions in how you can use it, and you're asking me if I would recommend that students are allowed to use it or not.
Yes.
Okay.
But also, the issue is that this aimed for us to earn money. But I think if we'll keep on spreading this education, people will be doing this by themselves. Therefore, lose more money than we earned before. Don't you see that?
I don't see that at all, because I don't have that kind of reach. Like, there are like hundreds of millions of podcasts right now around the world that needs this. And even if they know how to do it themselves, they need to save time. Like if I weren't on my non-profit budget right now, if I just did my regular thing, even if I know how to do it, I'd rather pay someone $100 to do it for me because I don't have the time to do it. Most of these people who have these podcasts, they don't have the time to do those things. And you're solving a problem because you're solving their time issue, which for a lot of people in that position is very valuable, right? But to go to your first question, if I can tell the university, I don't think I have the authority to have that kind of effect. I can give my recommendations. What I think, still think that AI is a tool, right? So the same way when the calculator came, I know that a lot of in the beginning was like, oh, you cannot use calculators because it defeats the purpose. And back then, the only thing that was viable, the answer. Like if you do what's 8 times 7 minus 33, if you knew the answer to that, that was enough, right? But when the calculator came, after a while, we slowly realized that, hey, we can't stop. This is inevitable. Everyone will have a calculator on the phone and everything. And the way we did math changed. Now it's more important to know how to get the results. You know, the equation is you still can get a correct answer even if the end result is wrong. But if you did the equation correctly, you can still get a point, right? And I think that would be like the same thing with AI and ChatGPT, that in the future, maybe it would not be equally important to know exactly which year this or that happened or stuff like that, but more to know how to get the answer. Like which AI did you use? Did you make sure that the information was correct? How did you go about? Show me your thought process to actually solve this and get that answer, right? I think that would be interesting. But I also understand universities that when it's something that's very new, it's hard to just open the Pandora's box. So you have to slowly, the faculty and the teachers and everything need to first learn it themselves and see where are the limitations, where is it good, where is it bad, and then adapt a little bit. But I do think it is inevitable. So any school will have to sooner or later allow it, and maybe also change the way we do the test. And the students who rely solely on ChatGPT, it's got to be very clear when you do tests physically, and you can't have access to internet. You can't write a perfect essay at home, and then when they sit you in front of a desk and okay, write it now, an essay, you have 5 hours to write it, and it's just completely different. That's when it's going to be very, very clear. So as students, you also need to remember that you can use it to inspire, to get help, to do some parts that you don't like, but you also need to have the knowledge in order to complete your education. Because if you don't have your education, then you don't have your experience. You don't have your experience, then you don't know which one of the 10 ideas is a good idea. You don't know if the code is good or not, right? So yeah.
Hi. My name is Shoaibu Shaban from Sunga Brands, and I have 2 questions. The first question is, what is your framework for deciding when to use AI in a creative campaign?
Sorry, can you say that again, but hold the microphone a bit closer all the time?
Okay. Yeah? Okay. What is your framework from deciding when to use AI in creative campaign versus relying on human input? Also, the second question is, what are the biggest risks that big companies may face when integrating generative AI in marketing workflows?
Did you say what is the biggest mistake?
Biggest risks.
Risk, okay. Yeah. So for your first question, the framework, I use AI to everything. I use it mainly for the things that I don't like doing, as I said, the things that I'm really not skilled at. But even the things I like doing, I do it myself first, but then I ask AI, give me 10 ideas on this, just to see, did I miss something? Did they have another idea? And then maybe I get inspired by this could be cool if I do this or this or that. So I often use AI as a second opinion. I do a design, and it immediately says this text is not centered, these colors are not the same, and it sees things that might be hard for the human eye always to see on every screen. Maybe my screen has a dim light or something on it, right? So I use it a lot for second opinions. And the risks the biggest companies have, I would say that the biggest risk is losing their authenticity, right? Being their true selves. I see a lot of these AI ads, I see a lot of these AI texts, and you see the M dashes, and you can immediately see that it's like written, and it kind of loses their identity. I see a lot of people who are in the hotspot, they've done something bad, and then they want to apologize, and they just have like an AI written text, and it just kind of, it loses the purpose of an apology, right? So I think that's the biggest risk for companies, are maybe like losing their true self in how they communicate internally and externally.
Well, thank you so much for detailed explanation on different questions posed. We have online viewers who are following us online, and we understand that we're behind time. We want to rush up so that you may catch up with your own business appointments. Now, I want just to ask one question from the online viewers, and then we will conclude by inviting the managing director, who will invite a person who will make a closing remarks. And from there, we'll just go outside for group photos, and that will include the organizing team. Now, one of the questions from the online viewers, first I would like to request you to follow us online. We have a YouTube channel. You may subscribe on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You may subscribe University of Dar es Salaam Computing Center, UCC. You may get a lot of information about UCC. One of the questions is posed by Warioba Collins, is asking, where do you see AI heading in the next 5 to 10 years? That's the closing question from online viewers.
Okay, you know how I like business plans for 5 years, right? How do I see AI 5 to 10 years? I think that's an unlimited amount of time. It's so hard to, because AI is moving so quickly, so 5 to 10 years feels so far away. I think a lot will have changed in the future when it comes to AI. I think we will have reached a point where I say that all the businesses will have been involved with AI. We will have glasses probably that, or something else that are constantly with us, that helps us with AI. I think AI will be very, very good 5 years from now. There will be very few tasks where it wouldn't excel at. And it will be very good at understanding us and knowing like what we want for kind of song and stuff like that. I think the way we consume like the internet is gonna change a lot. I don't think people are gonna hang on the internet 10 years from now. It's gonna be like something like very old, like sitting and watching just a screen with like text on it. It's gonna feel not so like modern. I don't really know the alternatives. There are a lot of people talking about like VR and stuff like that, but still it's very, very much too much. But if it's glasses like this, then it's very much easy, right? So it's a lot of technical advancements happening, but the future of AI is going to be very, very, very strong. And this is the moment right now to adapt to it and start being in the forefront and not being left behind, I think.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Can we give him applause? This is Alexander Murad. We have heard a lot. We have learned a lot from him. Thank you so much for your time, your dedication. Actually, you have united us as one family. Patience and so ever, we have joined into you. Thank you so much for being a uniter. I don't know if that will be the appropriate word. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, can I use this moment to invite Managing Director of University of Dar es Salaam Computing Center, Madam Leticia Ndongole, to invite our closing, a person who will be doing the closing remarks. Madam Ndongole, Leticia, this is the Managing Director of University of Dar es Salaam Computing Center.
Good afternoon. So from today or at this moment, will we embrace AI or we die. Thank you very much. So let us put our hands together again for Mr. Alexander Morad. Thank you very much, Mr. Alexander. I take this opportunity now to welcome the Director of ICT from University of Dar es Salaam, Dr. Salaam Marot, to give us a closing remark. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Are we excited? Are we transformed? That doesn't sound like a good yes. Are we transformed? Hopefully. So I will give a closing remark, and at the end of the day, you have to say if it's AI generated or not. Let's see how good you are with detecting AI. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, partners, students, I like it that a lot of students are here today. This shows really a great initiative and that you're eager to learn about AI. I know there's some people who are with us online. We are very glad that you could attend this talk. So as we come to closing of this transformative AI talk, allow me on behalf of UCC, thank you so much for the invite, the organizing team, the University of Dar es Salaam at large, to extend my deepest appreciation to each one of you. Thank you so much. Today we have explored a lot. We have learned a lot about what AI can do. I knew maybe only half of this stuff, so I'm expecting that all of us have learned so much today. And we take that AI is not only shaping the global future, but is becoming very relevant to us now. Yeah? Locally, we know that we can see how AI can help us in different areas. From the keynote speaker by Alexander, which was very informative, also the QA, I like that the QA session, people were asking about their fears of AI, but I guess from the answers, we are all comfortable that we can now go and embrace and use AI, unless we want to die. So very thankful to Alexander for bringing the AI or Die to the University of Dar es Salaam. Highly, highly appreciated. So this has ignited a spark in many of us, and from now on, I think we are going to see a lot of homegrown AI tools from the different people of the university. To the students, I heard the question about maybe the university should let you use AI however you want. But today we know that it marks an exposure to you, it has sparked some light in you, and we hope that this will bring you into new research paths, but also into new bold ambition. However, do not cheat, yeah? Remember the critical thinking, yes? We always need to use AI as a tool and not AI as a way to get over our assignments, okay? Entrepreneurs and all other professionals, I know that you've gotten a lot. May the tools and perspective you have gained today empower you to innovate faster, smarter, and more inclusively. To our public sectors, leaders, policymakers, and I know there's a lot of online attendance today, we ask that you continue to work hand in hand to create an infrastructure, a policy environment, and skills development strategies that will make AI work for Africa and not to Africa. All the partners involved today, the sponsors, the speakers, the moderators, tech and logistics teams, and most importantly, all the media that is here today, we want to say thank you so much. And of course, our biggest appreciation goes to the University of Dar es Salaam for allowing us to host this wonderful event here today. So, as we leave this venue, let us remember it is not the end of the conversation. And we understand that the MD of UCC had just ignited the spark and that the conversation will continue, but most importantly, we'll see the impact that this event has had on all of you. Let's take what we have learned today and apply it. Let's share it, let's question it, let's build on it, and ensure that Tanzania and Africa at large is not a passive consumer of AI, but a creator, a driver, and a shaper of what is to come. Someone was asking here today, where do we see AI in the next 5 years? So I think we take that question to ourselves and say, if I use AI today, where can I be in the next 5 years? What kind of tools can I create in the next 5 years? What kind of money can I make in the next 5 years? We are reminded that it's about the attitude and the believing that we can do it because we have all the tools in our hands. For those who are eager to advance in technology, especially AI and cybersecurity, this is to remind you that UCC is here for you. We have plenty of courses, professional courses that you can enroll to that will give you much, much deeper insights than what you have gained today. Together, we can build a future where technology amplifies our values, our strength, and our communities, but also we have the potential to unlock a lot of potentials for our people. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of this important journey. We believe we have just started. And until we meet again, we say that you should stay inspired, stay connected, and most of all, stay ahead. So thank you so much. And for Alexandra, we say Kakamika. Thank you so much. Thank you. So the question still remains, was that AI generated?
Well, that was very powerful. Thank you so much. And I don't want to add anything. That will be disrespect. Can I invite guests? We'll be having group photos out there. Yeah, we'll be having group photos. I'd like to invite the guests to come here on the stage and get photos, and there'll be some other directions. The rest, I really appreciate for your time being here. It has been an exciting moment for you to be here joining us. Thank you so much. Still, you may network with each other. As we said, it's a family. We have created a family. So you can still network with each other, learn from each other. Thank you so much for your time.